Welcome to Care Sandwich, the podcast where we dive into the success journeys of law firm owners across the country. I'm Margarita Eberline, your host and the founder of Marketing Boss, a fractional chief marketing officer firm for law firms. On this show, we'll explore the challenges, strategies, and victories that have shaped law firms and how they wrap every interaction with care. Because we believe that caring isn't just a value, it's a strategy for success. So grab your favorite sandwich, sit back, and let's dig into a conversation filled with insight, inspiration, and of course, a lot of care. Welcome. I have a very special guest today, Mel LaGrone. She is the owner of LaGrone Law, and she's going to tell you a little bit about herself in a minute, but let me tell you, this attorney is just so passionate about her ideal clients, and I can count them on my fingers, the attorneys that are like, I'm gonna go after this specific avatar just like this, and actually they stick to it, and they think about how to diversify their firm in terms of what do their clients really need. Like, that comes first. There's a lot of attorneys out there that have multi-practice area law firms, but I just think it's so special, Mel, and I want to congratulate you on the leap of faith that you've taken in your connection with a specific type of client and how you've reflected that in your law firm. And so, Mel, tell our audience who doesn't know you about yourself, who you are, what you do, and why are you awesome, and why are you here?
Okay. Well, I'm here because I love you and you asked me to be, but so I am attorney Melaney LaGrone, but everyone calls me Mel, so it's attorney Mel. Everybody says LaGrone is so hard to say, so I've always been known as attorney Mel. I am an immigration and criminal defense attorney. I originally started out in criminal defense only because this is kind of second career for me. I was a police officer for almost 10 years in Detroit before I went to law school. So of course, going to law school after being the police, what do you get into? You get into criminal law because you know it like the back of your hand. So I started out in criminal defense and then moved into immigration. And my passion has always been Black males. Like, at the end of the day, I want to keep them out of prison. We already know about, the high rates in prison, recidivism, everything. So I wanted to make a difference for them and, keep them out of prison. So when I started immigration, it was almost the same thing. So Black and brown men. Because at the end of the day, it's like we're all treated. It's almost like I always say, like, they're treated like slaves. Like, immigrants are almost treated like slavery was with us back in the day. Like, today, it's like immigrants are treated like that. And I wanted to make a difference because at the end of the day, we are all human beings. We all should be treated as such. And so my tagline has always been, helping, Black and brown men navigate the immigration and criminal defense, the criminal system. But then, of course, in immigration, there's so many different avenues of immigration, and I didn't realize how much, I guess, I was on, like, love and things like that, because I didn't know it. But, when people would come to me about, hey, I just got married to a United States citizen, I'm trying to get my green card, or, I have a fiance that I met, out of the country, and, I want to bring her, her or him here. It's the love of my life. I kind of really took to those type of cases. So we do a lot of family-based because we are all about keeping families together. So we do a lot of family-based immigration, fiance visas and things like that to keep all the families here together in the U.S.
That's an amazing journey. And when you were talking about your experience as a police officer, I was taken back in my memory to a book that I read called Weapons of Mass Destruction that talks about how there is math and data and statistics that really does prove that whether it's on purpose or not, there's a systematic targeting of Black and brown men. Something as simple as if you look at the data behind where police officers even patrol It's usually in neighborhoods where these men live. And so then it's no wonder that there are more arrests. And I just found that so interesting. And I think, that I'm curious about just emotionally, like, what was that like for you being a part of that side of the system? And how does that relate to the emotion that you tap into being on this other side of the system?
Um, so originally, Margarita, when I joined the police department, it was right out of college, and so it was almost like I needed a job. You know what I'm saying? Like they were hiring, so I joined. I knew a lot of police officers in the city in Detroit and everything. So I said, okay, I can do this. But when I got there, it was really the best experience I've ever had in my life. Like I would not change it for the world. It did show me, obviously, that yes, we do segregate, we do profile. It is what it is. Like it happens. But still,
It's
as a
not
police
always
officer in
harmful.
that environment, you can still. No, 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 and it's not. But just like you said, if my job is to get guns and drugs off of the street, where am I going to patrol? Obviously, I'm going to patrol in those areas where guns and drugs are. Well, if you're patrolling in those areas where guns and drugs are, if you have like a lower economical, status, like if you are a young black male who, is single parent home or whatever and can't, you know, go out there and get a proper job per se or whatever, where are you going to live or what are you going to do? You're going to be in those areas. And so ultimately, who's going to get arrested? You're going to get arrested. And who's going to go to prison? You're going to go to prison. So it was one of those things where I didn't look at it necessarily as, yes, we're targeting, you know what I'm saying? But it was almost like it is what it is. And my job was to get, guns and drugs off the street, and this is what I'm going to do. But I also, too, understood that I had a place to where I didn't have to be harsh about it. I didn't have to, what I'm saying, be overly aggressive about it, things like that. I can still treat, this young black man with respect and and have a conversation with him because he knows I'm doing my job. I know he's out there doing his thing, like that's what he's doing, and we both have basically a job that we have to do, and I got to take him to jail. So it didn't always have to be an adversarial type of thing.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, it's an arrest. And that was my job.
And how beautiful, like, I've heard you and seen you interacting with clients, and you are always respectful to people no matter what their background is. And I think that's just how you are as a person. But, I see it reflected in what you just said, how you were as a police officer and now how you are as an attorney, where you don't judge and you treat people with respect and you give people the benefit of the doubt and you really do your best to go above and beyond to be thorough and to represent your clients, whether it's an immigration case or a crim case. Walk us through what is it that you've done in your firm to create a safe space. I'm going to call it a safe space for people that need your legal services, that's unique to them, like that made it a safe space for them where they feel comfortable.
So I think at the end of the day, it goes back to our core values. And like our top three core values are family, freedom, faith. Like in everything that we do in our firm, it has those top three, core values in place. So if you're going to come to me, I'm going to understand, that you've got a major issue going on, and we're going to work together and strategize and figure out how to fix it. Um, I think, like you said, it's just kind of like my nature. Like I've just learned to just, like I said, we are all humans and we all have to be treated as such. And I hate the word illegal. Like that just like, you know, grabs my soul because it's like nobody is illegal. Now they might be in the United States illegally, but their title is not an illegal. Their title is still a human being. And everyone gets treated as such. We're a smaller firm with, big values and big successes and big wins and stuff like that, but we treat everybody that comes into our firm like family, because at the end of the day, all they're trying to do is stay with their family. And so that's what we're all about.
I hope you're enjoying the conversation and your sandwich as much as we are. I want to take a moment to share a few words about our sponsor, Marketing Boss. If you're a law firm owner looking to supercharge your growth, our team at Marketing Boss is here to help. We've got over a decade of experience and a proven track record, and we specialize in growing law firms like yours with data-driven marketing leadership. So if you own a law firm and you're ready to get a predictable, steady flow of cases from your marketing, let's connect at marketing-boss.com.
So what I heard was having a firm culture where it's clear what your values are as a firm so that your team is consistent with the services that you provide and the way you provide them, valuing excellence and doing what's best for your clients, and using language that honors your clients. Those were some of the things that I picked up on from what you said. That's a wonderful checklist that I think that if you own a law firm and you do those things, you'll definitely be on the right path to creating an environment that is safe or that's comfortable for your ideal clients. Mel, talk to us about what are some of the things that you do in your firm, like with the way you structure your business. Like, how do you structure how did you change the structure of your business for this specific avatar or customer type that you're servicing?
So what we did over the past few months is we went through a new branding. And the reason why we did that was because we were trying to figure out how to add more value to our clients. As immigrant clients, when they come in, as you know, they already don't trust lawyers. You know what I'm saying? They don't trust the system. They don't, heck, my criminal clients don't trust the system and don't trust lawyers. And I want my clients to know that, no, here, like, you can trust, like, I'm very transparent. I tell you what I can do and what I can't do. I always tell them, I say, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear versus what you want to hear. Okay. And so you can take that or leave it, but that's how I am. I'm very transparent and very upfront. So I feel like my client,
is that an official policy, like with your staff, that's always the approach, is we tell people what they need to hear? Wow. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Because I can feed you hope all day. I can feed you, sunshine and rainbows and all that type of stuff. And then ultimately I can't deliver. So why would I do that? So I tell them, and I like, that is in my consultations. Like, that verbiage is in my wording when I'm talking to somebody. Every time, no ifs, ands, buts about it. So I feel like if my clients and potential clients and things like that, if they're going to trust me and they're going to know that we're here to do good work and we're going to do for them, I want them to know that all the way around. So if you have an issue with a criminal case, I'm going to handle your criminal case for you because I know how you feel about it, and I know how you're apprehensive already. Okay, I'm going to handle. We've just incorporated personal injury into our firm, to handle their car accident cases, because as you know, a lot of times immigrants don't want to call the police if they get into a car accident. They don't want to go get medical attention if they get into a car accident. I want to educate you and let you know that you still have rights and you can still seek justice if you are an immigrant, if you're undocumented, or if you have a green card. So we've incorporated that into our practice. We've even done, some, uncontested divorces. I always say, I'm never going to do family law. I'm going to send you to the right place to do family law. Okay. But, we've done uncontested divorces where, hey, it didn't work out with this person, and, we don't have any kids, we don't have any assets, anything like that, but I'm ready to marry this person, the love of my life, and get my green card through that person. So can you help me divorce one, and I'll get married to one and then get my green card? Absolutely. I'll help you. And then we have set.
So I was just going to say, so it sounds like to me that to the degree that you feel like you can deliver a service with excellence, you've been adding layers and layers and layers to your practice because you really understand and can empathize with the immigrant's experience.
Yep, absolutely. We want it to be like a holistic one-stop shop that we're going to do for you what needs to be done, and we're going to do it right. And if I can't do it, so if I don't have the expertise or the knowledge for it, I have a list of attorneys that I can refer them to, knowing that they will get the job done for them.
That's huge, because I know a lot of law firm owners that think about expanding, but then they just don't, because they're like, either I'm going to do all of it or I'm going to do none of it. And it sounds to me like you're open to it because it serves your client, and you have a network, I take it, of attorneys that you can refer out to when it gets outside of your area. I'm going to call it of excellence, your area of excellence.
Absolutely. Yep. We keep a referral list of attorneys. My intake girls, they know that if a client calls for something that we don't do, they might need contracts. They have landlord tenant. We get a lot of landlord tenant calls for some reason, things like that, that they have a list, and they will just refer them out and let them know, hey, we don't handle that particular type of case, but we have somebody that will do that for you.
So if there's an attorney listening right now and they're thinking, I would love to do that, but I don't know how to vet these other attorneys to be able to trust, right? Because I have spoken to attorneys before, and this is an actual point that's been brought up to me, of what if I refer them and they're not what I think, and they don't give my client, my precious client that I care about, the experience they deserve? Then what? I'd rather not. I've heard that argument too. What would you say to that? And what are some tips that you can maybe give somebody that's in that situation?
So one thing that I've learned, and I've done a lot of coaching, and I've been with a lot of coaching companies and things like that. But one thing that I learned from one of the coaching companies that I was with, and it was called your Top 100. And basically it's like your top 100 network of people that you can refer your clients out to, that you trust, that you like, that and you just put one of those together. Obviously it's going to be from, I go to coffee. I do coffees all the time. I do coffees and lunches with attorneys all the time. And I'm able to get a vibe and a feel of what type of work they do. And then obviously, it could be hit or miss. Sometimes maybe you'll send something to somebody and they drop the ball. Well, that they're not going to be in your top 100. Take them off and go find somebody else that's going to do it for you.
I hear you, and I think based on what you said and what I've seen really with you and your law firm is, I think it's worth at least trying. If you have a bad experience with somebody that you refer to, that should not be the reason why you don't refer 10 other people to amazing attorneys that are going to run with it and do a great job for these people, versus them just having nowhere to go. And
exactly.
I'm not sure to say this, but going to Google, right, and hoping that they get a good one, because Google is pay to play. Listen, I'm a big proponent of run ads and all of that, but I also see a lot of people running ads that are maybe not as good. So yeah, I think that's amazing. So Mel, there's one more question that I'm going to ask you, and I know you're so busy, and I really do appreciate you taking this time, and it's a very important question that I ask every single one of my guests. Kind of a fun question. What is your favorite sandwich? Because this is the Care Sandwich podcast. So what is Mel's favorite sandwich?
My favorite sandwich, and it's so funny that you're asking me that because I'm not a sandwich person. But my favorite sandwich would be right. All right, my favorite sandwich would be Care Sandwich. But yeah, I don't even, that's funny. That's cute. Do you eat sandwiches? I don't eat sandwiches.
So the funny story is I am gluten free mostly, but I do, I'm gonna say cheat and have a good sandwich every once in a while. I'm very bougie about my bread. I have to have really good French bread. So yeah. But yeah. Okay, so you don't eat sandwiches. What's your favorite unwich? That's not a sandwich, but it's similar enough. It has two sides and a middle.
So I love anything wraps. Okay, so basically for me, you can take a sandwich and you put it in a wrap, a tortilla, and I'm down for it.
Nice. Okay. So a wrap. That's great. So what's your favorite wrap then?
I would say like chicken bacon ranch wrap
I like it.
on like
I really
spinach,
love that.
spinach tortilla.
I'd be all about that. I just got hungry. I don't know about you, but it's about lunchtime for me. But Mel, this has been wonderful. If people want to get a hold of you to either refer you cases or be a client, walk us through what that looks like. How can people get a hold of you?
Absolutely, absolutely. So you can always call our office at 678-250-5449. Someone is always going to answer the phone. You can go to our website at www.lagronelaw.com. We have a contact us form on there, so you can put in your information and then we'll reach out to you after that. And then we're all on social media. Yeah, they didn't got me on TikTok, yeah, IG, Facebook. I do it all nowadays. So yeah, at LaGrone Law.
And I have to brag on you because your contact form takes people down a nice journey, right? You have your automation set up and all of that. So that's pretty cool too. Is, when you fill out a form on Mel's website, you'll get an email right away, no matter what time of day it is, saying thank you, we got your message,
Yep.
and so on and so forth. So that's also really awesome that you do that. And yeah, this has been great. So there you have it, folks. You can find her on your favorite social media platform. You can find her online. She may or may not be running ads, and she can get right back to you during business hours if you fill out that contact form, and help you with your case or help you with a referral. You can trust Mel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next episode of The Care Sandwich.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Care Sandwich. Remember, the way we care for our clients, our teams, and ourselves can make all the difference in our success. Until next time, keep caring, keep growing, and I'll see you on the next episode of Care Sandwich.